Welcome, everybody, to the Real Riff podcast. My name is Bill Markey,
And my name is Thomas Angelo.
and we have a variety episode. It's Tron Anemone, because we're going to talk about Tron Ares, and I say Anemone. It's
It's
Anemone.
it's 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 not. It's anemone.
Anemone. Jesus.
They say it in the movie. I think it's like the name of the
Yeah, they
flower
do.
in the
It's a
movie. I don't know.
flower. I,
Whatever.
I keep thinking of Menemone, the from Sesame Street, the Muppets. Every time I think about this fucking movie. But anyway, variety episodes. So we're gonna talk about Tron Ares. We're gonna talk about Anemone, maybe a couple other things as well. So starting with Tron Ares, which was the biggest release of this weekend. This is the third installment in the Tron movie series, the follow-up to Tron Legacy years and years later. It's directed by Joachim Roning.
hmm
It's got a screenplay by Jesse Wigatow. It's starring Jared Leto, Greta Lee, Evan Peters, Joni Turner Smith, Jeff Bridges, amongst a host of others. Music by Nine Inch Nails, which I got definitely want to talk about that.
Yes.
Uh, Produced, distributed by Disney. It just came out October 6th. Its budget is 180 million. Its box office right now stands at 34 million. It's got a runtime of a minute shy of 2 hours. And to sum the movie up, mankind encounters AI beings for the first time when a highly sophisticated program named Ares leaves the digital world for a dangerous mission into our world. And just to finish up this tale of the tape in terms of reviews, 57% Rotten Tomatoes, 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb, 2.8 out of 5 for Letterbox. Sorry, that was my Alexa. 2.8 out of 5 Letterbox and 87% on Fandango. So I know how I feel about the movie,
hmm
but what did you think?
I don't feel anything about this movie.
Mhm.
I don't really feel much. There's one strong positive I really have from it, and that's the Nine Inch Nails score. That's probably one of the best scores of the year.
Yeah.
It is. It's like that. It's the type of score that like shakes the theater. I mean, I saw this on IMAX, and I will say the CGI, the action, everything, it looks great on IMAX. Like I have nothing. There's nothing particularly wrong with this movie because what it sets out to be is kind of what it is. This is just a generic action popcorn movie with, I put this in the same league as like when you're watching a Mission Impossible. You can have fun with it, but it's not like it's written well, and it's not like the story's good, and the story's shit, but it's, it's serviceable towards what it wants to be, which is, a generic action popcorn movie that Disney wants to rake in a couple bucks with the Tron name, you know? Like there's no story here that like I don't think anyone set out to tell this story about AI and what it's doing to humanity because there's nothing new here, in terms of what
Yeah.
the story is doing and whatnot. The way I actually described this on my notes is this is the perfect film for a father to take their like 10 to 13-year-old son to for like
Yeah.
for a matinee showing. And
And
I think that's perfect.
I was in the theater with a couple of those demographics or that demographic.
Yeah, I saw a lot of dads with their like young kids at this movie. I'm like, that's exactly what the audience for this film is,
Yeah.
and I just think that's what it is. I think Jared Leto, I don't think he's doing anything too bad or too good here. Greta Lee, nothing too bad, too good. Evan Peters, that performance didn't work for me. I thought I didn't like his character. I thought, well, that's the thing. You can make that argument about every character in this film. They have zero layers. They're just stereotypical placeholders. And there's a lot of scenes, and this is kind of what reminded me of Mission Impossible. There's a lot of scenes where exposition is a surf through the news, and
Yeah.
the entire
It's
plot,
lazy.
like the entire plot of the movie, is just exposition dumps and just chasing after this MacGuffin of this code. So what the plot and whatever sucks here, but it's a generic popcorn action movie. There's nothing really much more to be said about it. There's nothing for me to feel too strongly about either way, positive or negative, other than the Nine Inch Nail score, which like literally makes a mediocre movie a lot more immersive. Like this is a very mediocre movie, but like, oh my God, that score makes it so much more immersive. There's like
Yeah.
some cuts in this movie where the music kicks in and I'm like, oh fuck, like I'll sit up. There was a lot of points where the score kicked in and I like sat up because I was like, wow, that's so good. And then I started seeing people tweeting online the Nine Inch Nails challenge for Tron Ares, where you go in and you just wear a blindfold and listen to the music. So that's kind of how I feel about this movie. It is that tweet summed up, but I don't feel anything
Uh,
too strong or too negative about this. What about you?
um, so you posted for us my out of theater quick spoiler free
Yeah, but that's
reaction.
whatever. You know, when you marinate, when something marinates in your head, it could change. So,
Oh no, I still feel the same way. So I actually really liked Tron Ares.
well, I'm glad you had your fun
Um,
with it.
Now I've seen the first Tron, which I can say this is it. I just got done watching Tron 1, okay? Which I have my patience. It's 1982. It's just it's maybe the worst movie I've ever seen. So I got done. I'm not kidding. Like I was angry
Is
watching
Jeff
it.
Bridges in that first one?
He's trying. Yeah, he's
Okay.
trying. The movie
Yeah.
takes so much from Star Wars. There's a laser beam reactor. They basically probably told him be Han Solo. I even heard musical notes. I was like, they're definitely trying to rip off
Feels
Star Wars.
reminiscent of Star Wars, yeah.
Like Star Wars just came out in 1977, so 4 years later, Disney's trying to jump on, and I'm just like, this is awful. So me finishing up the first Tron, going into Tron Ares, not wanting to, I even told you, like, why are we watching this? Like, I was like kind of being an ass about it.
Because honestly, to understand Tron Ares, you don't have to see the other films.
You
It's
don't.
not purposeful at all. I mean, the story is not that. And what's weird is like the story is like overly convoluted with so much exposition and stuff. They could have
Yeah.
made it so much more simpler in Ares, but
There
they
is,
try
sorry,
and make it more complicated. I don't know.
there is stuff that connects to the first Tron where I was like, oh, I remember this and whatever.
Oh,
But
I heard some fans next to me at one point go like, oh, they did like the DiCaprio meme,
The
yeah,
bit. It's the bit.
yeah.
Yes. No. Um, the thing is, like, I guess from coming off that movie and then having low expectations, I end up seeing it in real 3D, which I never do. But to make my
I
schedule
think this
work,
is a cool one to see in 3D
well,
almost.
to make my schedule work for that and Anemone back to back, I had to see it in real 3D. And dude, I really liked it. Like,
I'm glad.
you,
I don't hate it or like it.
yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
I agree with everything you said, but it was the movie. Look, between the two, it's Tron Ares and then Anemone, and I love Daniel Day-Lewis, but like Tron Ares, I at least had fun. I just enjoyed myself. It made me sit up. The theater was so loud,
Yeah, no, I
and
really liked how it was making the theater shake and everything. I felt like I was at a
loud.
Nolan movie.
Yeah, and I was going to tell these four kids behind me to shut the fuck up, these teenagers, and they and 40 and like they were a little loud, and I was getting up literally. Then they just left the theater after an hour. Like kids, if you're not going to like pay attention, don't go to the fucking movies. But I enjoyed it for what it was, and I agree with everything you said. The Evan Peters character, we've seen it a million times.
No, it's a
Like
very cartoony, psychotic villain that makes no sense.
the exposition dump was there. The way to merge in the Honda Civic was insane. When
Oh,
Jared Leto basically says Honda Civics, that does good, there's good horsepower. Good pick.
what's the band that he really likes too? The 80s band?
Depeche Mode.
Depeche Mode.
Depeche
That was
Mode.
kind of cute, I guess, but I don't
But
know.
I actually liked what Leto was doing. Like,
I
I
guess.
don't
I mean,
know.
I don't know.
liked
I
what
didn't think it was anything too good or too bad. He literally is just talking.
I mean, now granted, I try never to use a bathroom during a movie, and I have to go so bad. I'm like, I'm good. I'll just go.
What part did you go during?
When like Athena comes down and they're about to fight, I'm like, this is just going to be a fight that he wins. I'll go take a piss.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that fight wasn't
but
even that. It was like a 30, like a minute long fight.
yeah, I think I came back and the fight was just ending.
Yeah.
But for what it was, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you know,
I
and they try and throw in the little emotional beats with Greta Lee and
yeah,
her sister and whatnot, but it's like you don't care about that. It's just there. It's just there so it's serviceable to be a movie. You know,
yeah,
it just needs to be there. It's it feels like this movie could have been written by AI, but there was enough put into the style and into the filmmaking and into the score where it's like you can tell some people actually really tried on this movie and
yeah,
it makes it more immersive and makes it more serviceable. That's why I don't hate this movie. Now
yeah,
if I could just tell if this was just a lazy whatever movie, then I would shit on it, but I have no want to shit on this movie because you know there's a lot of cool style here now. Like listen, style over substance is never a good thing, but
all right.
when you know you're just watching a generic Disney action movie, having some cool, fun style in it, filmmaking wise, and a really good score, it makes it much more watchable.
And the soundtrack, I was listening to it earlier. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
was like,
might put this
okay,
on during the gym or something.
yeah, it's a gym soundtrack for sure. The thing is, like, they also set up a fourth movie with their mid-credit
Oh
scene.
yeah, that's fucking sucked. I hope they don't do that.
But the movie, though,
It
again,
doesn't need a sequel.
it doesn't even seem, but it's not going to make its money.
It is
It's at
not. It is not. Yeah.
$34 million, and they spent a buck 80. So unless it's going to be direct to Disney and they're going to do it for cheap,
I
Disney
doubt it.
Plus,
Unless they're already
then
working on something, I doubt this one's gonna get a sequel. But also the way it ends, like the other main characters, this doesn't need a sequel. Like
I
this is a
agree.
very
Yeah.
just cyclical story, and it's over with. You know.
I heard a fun comment a critic made about that Ares just basically becomes Jared Leto by the end of the movie. He's wearing all of Jared
He's
Leto's.
literally just yeah. I was literally thinking
Yeah,
he's
he's
just
Jared
Jared
Leto.
Leto.
Yeah. Yeah. I
What
mean,
what I didn't
yeah.
really plot wise, and again, this doesn't even matter because this movie's plot sucks. But what what exactly was up with Ares that made him become sentient?
I mean,
Or is it
isn't it?
just is he's just sentient?
I mean, they don't wait. Like, I mean, they don't waste any time. For him, he makes a big deal out of the rain,
Yeah,
right?
I know, but it's like why? Other than they need a plot for the movie, like what was it about the coding, or what was it about him as a character, or what was it about him specifically? Why didn't Athena start to feel this way?
Which I think, well, there was a hint towards
There
that
was a
because
hint with the rain. There was a
the
hint.
rain hits her.
There was a
Yeah.
hint
Have you
towards it,
ever
but
seen the rain?
I guess I just didn't know why. Again, it doesn't even matter because the plot does not matter in this movie. But
I mean, there is a fault in Evan Peters' work. He's the guy who can't get these things to last longer than 29 minutes.
which I
So
actually thought that was a cool gimmick.
yeah,
Like, cause
so
that made things a bit more tense. That was kind of cool. I don't know if that's
maybe.
really
Oh,
another.
sorry.
I've seen Tron Legacy, and people are calling this a sequel to Tron Legacy, but my memory serves me
Yeah.
right. It's just one of those sequel things where it's like the character's grandson or the character's brother. I don't know. I don't know.
It's
Because the Dillinger guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. But the
I
Jeff
mean,
Bridges stuff sucked. It's so bad.
he's basically the Mark Hamill of the sequel trilogy in Star
Yeah.
Wars. He's just
You-
showing up.
I wonder how much of this budget was that guy's paycheck.
Oh yeah, to get him for that. Yeah. And they're like, dude, you just have to be on a set for a day. We'll record you doing some bullshit.
Dude, let us
You
just
don't
like
have...
holograph you in there.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, when they said he disappeared, I was like, this is where they saved some money
Hmm.
versus having Jeff Bridges in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like if that was maybe it was the intent to have him gone the whole
When
time.
Jared Leto ends up in like a weird like 8-bit world too, it was like very confusing.
Well, that is the original Tron,
Yeah,
like
game or
graphics
whatever.
and all that.
I don't know. That was just
Yeah.
it just felt like this movie was getting so overly convoluted for no reason.
And it felt longer. Like at one point, I looked at my phone, which again I don't do during a movie, and I was like, "It's been an hour." Like I really
Yeah.
would have thought the movie was like an hour and a half in, and I looked, and we were about 58 minutes in.
Listen, this bottom line, this just feels like a generic Disney action movie. It feels like a Marvel movie. It feels like the same type of humor, same type of, serviceable plot, whatever. This kind of felt to me like it feels like the same machine that made the new Captain America movie made Tron Ares.
Yeah, I like Tron Ares more. Again, like
No,
I still,
me too, me too, me too. But
yeah, I still enjoyed myself. I mean, we have a couple weeks of some. These couple weeks are a little heavy to get through until we get to like Black Phone and Begonia, and we get into some good stuff.
And,
So we're just pounding
yeah,
through the obstacles right now, I guess.
well, we're gonna have a lot of film festival movies to watch. So
Yeah, we are.
this is kind of a nice palate cleanser before what we're about. We're about to watch a lot of serious
Yeah.
movies. So.
It's like the ginger with our sushi. I just learned ginger's there as a palate cleanser. Did you know that?
Yes, my dad is like a really big sushi guy. So
I
ever
used to
since I was
just
young, I'm a big sushi kid.
I used to just eat the sushi.
Yeah.
I got sushi Friday night and I was told, oh, it's a palate cleanser. I was like, what?
Hmm.
I had no idea. So
Well, I think bottom line with Tron Ares, if you're a dad and you're listening to our podcast and you have a young son, just go take him to see Tron Ares for like a matinee showing.
yeah.
Get your little father and son time in. That's what this is for.
Yeah. And you know what? I actually do recommend Real 3D. I do. It's worth it to see it in Real 3D.
Do you
I
even
actually,
know what the last movie you saw in 3D was?
oh God. Uh, Uh, no, I don't think I've seen any of the MCU movies in 3D. We got to go back to like the early 2000s. So God, I don't remember. Do you?
It may have been one of like the Despicable Me movies. I don't even know.
Yeah, Toy Story 3 maybe, but no, I saw
Wow.
that in Atlantic City. I don't remember.
I will say, because I was actually texting you. Since we're doing a variety episode, I'll include some other shit in here. But I was texting you while I was in the IMAX theater,
Yeah,
and I didn't really realize how much I missed IMAX till I was back in that theater. Because this was the
yeah.
first time since I've been back to Chicago that I saw a film in IMAX, and that definitely improved the viewing experience of
Hmm.
Aries a lot more. But so many of these new movie trailers looked fucking phenomenal on the IMAX screen. Like The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah, I didn't
I
see
have
that on the big
zero
screen.
interest in that movie, really, conceptually or anything. But the trailer looked kind of good, and like hearing the Mando music and
Yeah,
the visuals. There's like a Jabba the Hutt character that's like buff.
that's Jeremy Allen White.
What, like voice acting wise?
Yes, I forgot he's a new character. Ah, shit, I forgot his name. But they're introducing a new Hut, and that's Jeremy Allen White.
Like Predator Badlands look great. The new Avatar, I that looks so fucking good. Oh my god.
I know I gotta watch the first
Like
two.
that looks like the perfect movie I just want to get high during and just watch. Like, oh my god. Like holy shit, that movie looks awesome.
Are you home for that?
When does that come out? Is that Christmas?
It's usually December.
Yeah, I'll be home.
Okay,
We'll be able to see that together. We'll be able to see Marty Supreme.
nice.
We'll be able to do a lot because Marty Supreme's Christmas Day. I mean, you gotta remember. You gotta remember. I come home like November like
Oh,
twenty
right, right,
fourth.
right.
So like end of November through beginning of January, every new release we'll see together. So
That's right. That I finally saw the trailer for Mario Supreme during Smashing Machine. Ooh, what a good looking,
oh my god, that trailer is so good.
what a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
But looking movie.
You do you want to
So
segue into Anemone now?
yeah, let's get
Do
into
you have anything else to
Anemone.
say about Tron Ares?
Oh, 6 on the Riff rating.
I'll give it a 5.
All right. Yeah, I like it a little more than just average.
No, and
So
that's good. I'm glad you liked it.
yeah, I had fun with it. Like, I don't know, because then the next movie was the next movie is an example of like how I felt coming out of the theater than when it sat with me, which is Anemone. So to run the tail of the tape on Anemone, the I this reminds me in like 30 Rock when one of the characters, she was an actress and she was in a movie called The Rural Juror. And throughout the show, Alec Baldwin and Tina Fey, she was like, I was in The Rural Juror, and they're like, the
Yeah.
Rural Juror,
Yeah.
Anemone. Ah. So this is the directing debut of Ronan Day Lewis, the son of Daniel Day Lewis. They both wrote the movie together. It stars Daniel Day Lewis, Sean Bean, and Samantha Morton. This is distributed by Focus Features. It just came out on September 28th. It's You feel it, the 126 minutes. Boy, do you ever.
Definitely.
Yeah, you do. Uh, the budget, not known right now. The
So
box,
I did a little bit of research.
yeah.
The rumored budget for this movie is 35 million.
Whoa. Well, it made $972,250 apparently.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
barely
so don't take my word for that, but I
okay.
looked through a lot of different sources and 35 mil was popping up a lot.
Ooh. Now, this film, hidden secrets and long buried resentments come to light when two estranged brothers reunite at a primitive cabin deep in the woods of northern England. Those brothers being Danny Day-Lewis and Sean Bean. Before we get into it, the ratings, not good. 54% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 5.9 on IMDb,
Yeah.
60% on Fandango, and a 2.8 out of 5 on Letterboxd. So the kids ain't liking it. What do you have to say for Anemone? Anemone.
I kind of feel the same. I feel the same way about Tron Ares as I feel about this, and this is kind of why I want to include them in this variety episode. I don't feel anything positive about this movie, and I lean more negative.
Yeah.
So I mean, not that I don't feel anything positive. That's a lie, because Daniel Day Lewis does give a pretty good performance. The
Sean Bean.
actual, eh,
No, really?
I'll get into that.
Okay.
It's not his performance that's the issue.
Okay.
The technical, what this movie is worth seeing for is the technical aspects and the performances. These are really good technical work and performances from
Hundred
from a
percent.
first time director. Granted, he's the son of one of the greatest living actors and probably had a lot of experience into the industry and everything, but that does not take away this guy Ronan clearly has talent
Yeah.
behind the camera and directing actors. That's 100%. The performances in this movie, they're good. And the technical aspects, there's some beautiful shots. There's one that really sticks out of my head of Daniel Day-Lewis looking out at this like storm over the ocean,
Yeah,
and
that's one of them.
gave me a lot of Ari Aster vibes.
Yeah.
A
Okay.
lot of
Yeah.
this
Yeah. Yeah.
this movie felt very reminiscent of Ari Aster films. And you know what's
I could see
interesting
that.
is the score was done by Bobby Krilic, who did
Krilic.
Midsummer and Beau's Afraid and Eddington.
Yep.
So yeah, it feels, but it feels kind of reminiscent. The opening mural that it has, you know how like the opening is just like a mural, reminded me of Midsummer as well.
Midsummer.
So
Yeah.
I was getting a lot of vibes, but tonally this movie's odd. There's a lot of like almost pseudo horror sequences. There's a
Yeah.
lot of like, this movie makes you figure out its plot on its own. It never tells you what's happening, which, you know, I like. I don't like exposition, but you actually don't really learn what this movie's about until like an hour and a half in.
Yeah.
And that feels a little late to like really figure out what's happening. And I think it was just a little too late for me to hook into anyone emotionally or to like invest in anyone's motivations as a character. It just didn't fully work for me. I think the biggest issue for me was just the plot lacking a lot of forward momentum. And listen, anybody who actually knows me in real life knows that I am a fucking sucker and a lover for long, methodical movies that take a long ass time to get to their point.
Yeah.
When it's done well. And I just don't think the screenplay wise it's done too well here. And I think that's just because, one, it's just lacking a lot of forward momentum. The technical aspects, while they're good, they don't propel the story forward in any way. It's just like something nice to look at. It's not propelling the story forward. It's not like the filmmaking is intrinsically tied to the characters or things like that. You know, it's just good filmmaking for the sake of good filmmaking. And I'm always someone who will argue like the filmmaking and the characters have to, you know, like be one and one. And I don't know. It definitely interests me in what Ronan could do next. Maybe with a bit more of a screenplay that has a bit more, you know, kick to it. Because as much as like one could argue that The Brutalist is a boring long movie, I think that movie has a certain kick to it. You know?
Oh, it does.
When the
Yeah, it
score
does.
when the score kicks in and there's character moments that are just it's propelling the story forward. I mean, like when you get halfway into The Brutalist, when the wife comes in, it changes the entire movie. It's a whole dynamic switch up. It interests me much more. Nothing really like that happens in this movie. And you know, I could just tell it didn't work because I am just someone I love long methodical movies. I like everybody who knows me. Like when I told my dad asked how this movie was, and I was like, oh, it was really slow and kind of boring to me. And he was like, did you just say that? Because usually that's what I make fun of him for saying about movies. When he's
Right.
like, yeah, I was kind of slow and boring. I'm like, oh, you don't get it. You don't get it, you know? But this one just didn't really work for me. But again, my positives, the Bobby Krilic score, great. Cinematography, great. Most of the performances, great. Sean Bean, we can get into that. I just don't think his character was given enough. I think he's just kind of
I can
there.
see that.
He's just,
I liked his performance,
He's just
though.
there. I mean, for what is written in the script, I'm sure he does well. He's a great actor, but
Yeah.
he's just there. And I didn't feel his motivation so strongly for wanting to get Ray back home. Like, I didn't feel it. You know, he was just saying things in there. I didn't
can see
really
that,
feel
yeah.
it. Yeah. What did you think of it then?
It was hard for me to like, I guess at first, just being a Daniel Day-Lewis apologist, like, you know, when I was talking to the spoiler-free thing for our socials, I was like, yeah, it's a good-looking movie with good performances. I was like, go see it, but I wasn't like enthusiastic, like, you know, it also reminded me a little bit of The Lighthouse, like these two men who are just in this one setting with the tension building.
But it's not as
To-
interesting.
No. Just like the elements of it. I even thought at one point, are these guys like, is there something going on here?
You know what? I'm so glad you brought that up. That's a great example because the filmmaking in The Lighthouse is intrinsically tied to the characters, and I think that's
Yeah.
what this movie was missing. You
Well,
know?
this I was kind of thinking at one point. I'm like, are they like they keep saying brother, but I call you bro and brother. So I was
Yeah,
like,
no, that's a normal thing. And especially with the context of it being England, it's
yes,
like, what does that
brother.
mean? You know?
And I kept thinking, I'm like, what? Like, I mean, I was figuring out, okay, so the kid is like, is the kid now just angry at 16 now or whatever he is?
It
That is
the mother and son plot line in this movie, I I had
like,
no zero interest in, like
like,
zero.
what did he go through now that he's so angry? It's not like he's 5 years old and like,
There
where's
was something
dad?
about him joining the military and like he wants to
Yes,
be pulled out of the military, but you don't feel or see that or
but I
understand
thought they
it.
said he
And
was 16.
that's what I thought. And then I was thinking
How
about
did
like
he do all
what's the
this?
timeline? Maybe it's something different. I don't know. It was weird, and I don't like that. I'm just figuring out the main motivations of the characters an hour and 40 minutes in, and the
Are you
issue.
talking about when he goes on that monologue about when he killed the kid at war, and then
No,
you see why
no.
he's so
That's in the
fucked up?
last 20 minutes. I'm talking about just learning that Sean Bean's character is there to get him to come home because of the son in the
Oh,
military.
that
You
part.
don't learn
Yeah.
that until like an hour and a half in.
Yeah. I well,
And
did you not? I kind of assumed after a while. I'm
no,
like, oh, he's here.
you kind of assume it after a while, but it's like
Yeah.
the movie forces you to put it together, and that plot line is not that interesting. Where it's like you don't have to hide that. Like that's not like a card reveal, you know. Like it's not
So
mysterious or interesting enough to be like, why did it? I don't know.
I guess Daniel Day-Lewis, like the whole time, he never asked. Like, did he ever ask like, why are you even here, or did he just
No,
let him stay? That's
it was
kind of
just weird.
weird. With
It was just weird, and
yeah.
like I don't know. It was just weird, and I
Them jamming out. I don't know why I loved it so much. The way they were
yeah,
dancing.
and
I
there
was
was
like,
that cool shot where like it pulls far away from the cabin. Like
yeah,
again, like the filmmaking is
yes.
amazing, and it's like Ronan is clearly talented, and the cinematography by Ben Fordsman, like it's amazing.
I loved
But
when they were walking from the dark forest, then through the lit up but
Carn
empty carnival.
Carnival or whatever, and like it was an empty, weird carnival. It was like, why is that there?
Why is they? How is that? But I
I
actually liked that shot though. Like for some that
again,
and the shot, I loved it. It looked like a painting to me
oh, when they're
when they were
walking through
walking on
the
the
sand,
beach.
yeah, right after his monologue, yeah,
Whoa, that was a
amazing shot, but it does
yeah.
kind of feel like the first time filmmaker vibes, where it's like you can hold on a shot as long as you want, you know.
Okay,
It isn't like that. He held on to some of these shots for so long, like
he did.
really methodically long. And again, that shot is beautiful. That literally looks like a painting. I couldn't gush more about how amazing the technical aspects are in this film. But again, that's just never enough for me. Like the story needs to be there.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about a movie like Roofman that we're gonna get into later. Not saying anything about it, but there's nothing crazy technically about that movie. But the story is so good that
Yeah.
it invests me. You know. I just this one didn't fully land for me or work for me. But it's not to say like I'm very interested in what Ronan does next. I'm curious like
Yeah.
what does he do with a different type of screenplay?
If you were that kid, wouldn't you have gotten the fuck away from the window when
Yeah.
the hail?
Okay.
I was like, get
You haven't
away.
seen Magnolia, so I can't get into detail about
Okay.
how that was kind of ripped straight out of Magnolia. But
All right.
um
I was like, back up. I was like, what are you doing? What did you make of Daniel Day? Again, like the lighthouse, he's hallucinating, like, or
okay, wait,
dreaming.
let me go in order, but here I want to talk
All
about
right,
his
sorry.
monologue. I do want to talk about his monologue. Great monologue, and the
Fantastic.
reveal about like what he did and what he was struggling with is very interesting and very complex and very disturbing and very almost it's very upsetting.
Yeah,
It just was like a little too late, you know.
I agree.
That to me though, that was better. It's better to release something like that a bit later into the film opposed to early on. Like it's building up to that, but it's still because of the whole other shit surrounding the movie doesn't feel like enough. You know, it's
I mean,
still it's
literally the shit surrounding the movie,
yeah, it literally still shut up.
the shit monologue.
Uh it just it feels like too little too late ultimately for me.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, at that point, I thought to myself,
Because even then, when there's still 30 minutes of the film or like 20 minutes left after that, it feels like you kind of showed your hand and now it's just the movie's deflated, you know?
like I felt like maybe in any other movie that scene would have gotten me to cry. And at that point, I was kind of like, oh, all right. Like I wasn't really like affected by that.
Me either. And it was because I just wasn't emotionally invested in the characters or their motivations
Yeah,
or who they were. Because that's the scene where you figure out who he is, you know?
yeah.
The rest of the movie doesn't really define him. It's this weird, surreal, weird shit, you know?
What did you make of his dream with the his son's face being on a what was that? Is this like the AR and weapons? We just don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's an explanation of it. What I liked better was him seeing the gutted like barracuda fish. I like
Yeah, that
that.
was cool.
I like that more. The whole surreal like animalistic face creature thingy looks straight out of like Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I don't know. I don't know. It kind of felt like one of those like I want to be a filmmaker with a surreal scene, so let me throw it in. It did feel a little
All right.
pretentious. Like it didn't connect to me in any way.
They got me on a little jump scare when he had the vision of his wife.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, oh, I had like a little jump in
That
the
was a
scene.
bit
That
interesting.
kind of
Yeah, like there's even cuts to like red, gory guts and blood, and randomly sometimes, and it's.
yeah. What is that?
I think it was just because of like the guys in that battle who were like lost their guts, and especially like the kid that he killed, whose like guts were falling out, and then
Okay.
when he's what I like about the fish scene is like I think he sees like the gutted barracuda and it reminds him of like the kid that he killed, and then makes him think of his own kid and whatnot. I like that a bit
Okay.
more,
Yeah.
but I don't understand why he immediately went back and tried to fight Sean Bean. And that scene felt so awkward. It was awkward and not
Maybe it's him.
staged well. I don't know.
It was him. It was him just going through like
But that it
his.
felt like forced emotional climax.
Yeah. But in the lighthouse, they do that, and it's earned.
It feels earned.
When
It
they start
feels
beating
really earned
when
though.
they start beating the shit out of each other, like it's earned.
In this movie, it does
Yeah.
not feel earned. The fact that they've had so many sit down one on one conversations, and then it leads to that out of nowhere at the end. Especially,
Yeah.
like, it feels like that's at the point where he should have some like thoughtful catharsis about the entire thing, and it's like, oh, I'm past this. But then
Yeah.
to even add on top of it to make it even more specific, he literally holds his head like a priest and is like atoning him, like it's atonement.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, this is too. There's visual storytelling, and then there's this like you're making it a bit obvious. Like to me, good visual storytelling, the gutted fish in the lake, it makes sense. Bad visual storytelling was that because that felt so over on the nose, you know.
Who's doing that real? I actually did like that when he looked at that gutted fish. The only other thing that was red on the screen was his sweater.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I kind of like that he was wearing
like
red.
to me
And
that's
just
where you
see
could
the
tell
red of
Ronan is like thinking about these specific little details filmmaking wise,
Yeah.
and it shows true talent and like thought process. I think he needs he needs a better script. I think that's ultimately what it is. He needs a better script, and I think he needs a script where he could work with more actors. I think because then he'll be able to like learn staging and things like that a bit better. Because even that fight scene, it felt so awkward, like staging
did.
wise. You know, it felt like kind of fluffy and awkward. I don't know. It was a bit odd. And then I knew the movie was gonna end with him just like seeing the sun, and they wasn't gonna give us any sort of conversation. I knew that. Like I knew
Yeah.
they weren't gonna give that to us because it's more of an interpretive ending then. But I
I
don't
mean,
know.
you do see DDL actually smile.
You
It's
do,
just like,
but
oh, look at that. He's actually smiling.
you do, but I didn't feel anything, and that's like the fact that
Yeah.
I didn't feel anything. Like when I just am starting to emotionally connect to your story at the end of the movie, that's not good. It should be about a little. It should be about at that 40-minute mark where I'm starting to emotionally sink my teeth in. You know?
And the movie that I think I just saw this did it better. Not that this movie could have done this. Maybe it could have. This is gonna sound so stupid, but when John C. Riley comes home at the end of Skull Island, after not having seen his wife and his son for never meeting his son, it's in the post credits, and he's a war veteran himself, and he goes home and they show him like having a hot dog, watching the Yankees, holding his kid. Like I just remember, like not that I wanted this movie to do that, but like that movie delivered like an impactful like
Yeah.
the guy returns home to his family after decades and decades being gone.
No, 100%.
But
I just the fact that I didn't feel anything at that final shot, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
it didn't work.
Yeah, I
It didn't
didn't
work
either.
for me. But I don't know. That isn't to say that there isn't like things to chew on in this movie, because there is. There's stuff here.
Yeah.
There is. There's great filmmaking. Some of the writing's pretty good, even though I find most of the monologues in the film to be a bit meandering. Like there's a bit too many monologues. Like
There
you,
is.
you should have saved some. You should have like the final monologue would have hit, because the final monologue is still meandering, but it works because of the story he's telling. But there's like 8 other monologues in the film that are meandering, and like you're diluting that last
Yeah.
one by having so many.
At that point, I that's why that didn't hit as much, and why I just was like, oh, it's
Exactly.
another one. It's
Exactly.
another one. And even though this one was very different, obviously, I was just kind of like, all right, like I kind of went like, really? That's why you left home? Like, I don't know, like maybe I wouldn't have felt that if like,
No, I definitely understood why, in a sense. Like it was more of a pride thing, but
yeah, but that's why
again,
you
but
ran
you still have a
away.
great thought process there. But it's like you don't know this character enough to like feel anything at that point.
Right.
Like you're just learning. Like, this is the point of the movie where you're just starting to learn who he is. Like again, it's just too little, too late.
And before that, he's not very likable.
No, like you
So,
can't spend like you can't have a 2-hour movie and at the hour 40 mark is where you're like emotionally opening up your characters.
yeah,
It's like it's not. It's not. It doesn't work for me. But I'd
I
be
agree.
I'd be interested to hear like the arguments from people who do like this movie and do think that works. Like I want to hear that argument. But
Yeah.
my friends
I don't know if
my
there's
friends
many.
that I saw it with here in Chicago, they definitely have the same thought process where they're just like, I don't hate that movie, but I only started to emotionally connect at the end, and it doesn't really work.
Too little, too late. Yeah.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
finally show your hand. It's like, oh, all right. So,
Exactly.
what do you give this movie from 1 to 10?
I'm gonna give this a 6 on the Riff rating.
All right, so I'm flipping it. I said 6 for Tron. You said 5. I'm giving this a 5. Yeah.
I just
So,
I think like when you have really good technical and filmmaking wise, you're automatically at a 5. And I think story wise, there is some stuff to chew on here, so I'll give it a 6, but I can't give it any more than that.
I kept, and I don't do this. I kept looking at my phone to see when it was over. Like I
I,
remember
I,
going
I
like,
did do it once during this film. That
I
is a
did
sign that I'm not
3 times.
invested.
Yeah, I did like 3 times. I remember going at one point. I was like 30 minutes, and I just took a piss. I was like, I gotta pee again. And like, actually, it's funny you say this that for Tron, that take your kid to see it if you're a father. I want to ask this one guy behind me. There was like a father son, and the
How
kid looked like he
young?
was like 14. I'm like, the fuck were you doing in this movie?
God, I feel bad for
Like,
that kid. He was probably bored out of his mind.
yeah, the dad was probably like, you got to go see this Daniel Day-Lewis movie, son. It's a good movie. And then the kid's like, kill me now, God. But
But since this is a variety episode, though, is there anything filmmaking news wise in the world of film you want to talk about?
we talked about this before we were recording. Like, I know the biggest news is they were talking about Heat 2, casting that, as well as Ocean's 14 becoming
Who are the big cast members for Heat 2?
Austin Butler, Bradley
Okay.
Cooper, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Adam Driver, I believe.
Speaking of Bradley Cooper, he just had his new film premiere at the New York Film Festival, I think.
What was that again?
Is This Thing On?
I
And
don't know if maybe I don't know it
it's called Is
actually.
This Thing On? And it has Laura Dern and Will Arnett in it as the two main characters, and they're having a divorce.
Oh, about the stand-up comic.
Yes.
That looks great.
So yeah, what I find really interesting about that movie, I'm really excited for it. But you look at Brad Cooper's filmography up until this point, all of his movies have some incredible style to them. The
Yeah.
trailer for this one made it look very subdued style wise, like a very normal ish movie. Like
Well, do
if you
think that's
look at
because of the story?
Maestro's insane. Like it is a orgasm of filmmaking. But
Do you think because this movie is about a stand-up comic who's going these little cellar gigs that it's supposed to look that way?
yeah, it feels much more subdued. Like the stylization isn't really there from him. So I'm curious to see how that type of movie looks from Brad. You know.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like the look of the movie fits like the tone of the trailer.
Yeah,
Like when
yeah, I don't
he's
know.
doing that,
It does.
yeah, that awkward stand-up. Like my wife left me. I
Have
guess
have you
whatever.
have you seen A Star Is Born and Maestro?
No,
Okay, so you have actually haven't dived into his filmography.
No, I really haven't. I actually didn't realize he even did A Star Is Born. I
The one
forgot
with
about
him and
that
Lady
movie.
Gaga, yeah.
Yeah,
So he directed that, and
it's not the one with
that
Judy Garland.
yeah. So
Isn't the first one with Judy Garland?
yes, the
Right?
original.
Yeah, I didn't think
Do
he
you
did
know?
that one.
No.
No.
Yeah, there's like 3 remakes of A Star Is Born. There's like three
Oh,
different
that I
movies.
didn't know.
His version is 1000% the darkest. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it has a very like a famously dark ending.
Yeah, no, somebody ruined it for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know, that one like style wise is cool, but I just didn't really like the story. Like, I thought it was very upsetting, but like, it is a great movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I remember like funny like story wise. I watched that with my mother and my sister when my mom used to live in Avon, New Jersey. So like we lived near the beach.
Yeah.
And I just remember sitting in that living room and like they both had their own box of tissues,
Wow.
like going into the movie. So I'm like, you guys already know sad shit's gonna happen in this movie.
So,
And
but they hadn't seen it.
yeah, no, they haven't seen it. I was like,
They
but
just
how do you
knew.
know? Like,
Yeah.
so that made me laugh a little bit. But I love Maestro. And
I know you were raving about that movie.
people don't
Yeah.
really like Maestro because they think it's very style over substance. I disagree.
Yeah.
I think Carey Mulligan's performance in that movie is like one of the best performances in the past couple of years. Like, it's so good. She is so good. The accent, like the little dialect thing she has going on.
Mm-hmm.
But then even beyond that, the filmmaking in the movie is so outrageous. But again, it's intrinsically tied to the main character of Leonard Bernstein because he's a very out of this world character. He's very out there. He's very jubilant, and the filmmaking is very jubilant. You know, it ties into his character. That's why I like that movie. But I'm trying to think of anything else. What were you gonna say?
I would say I did finally, because I've been avoiding some trailers, but then when I go to the movies now, I'm seeing trailers for the first time. And I did finally see a trailer for the next with Bone Temple, 28
Oh, me
years
too.
later.
I saw it before Anemone. I did see it.
I really, I'm digging. Like, I want to see more Jack O'Connell.
Jack
So
O'Connell,
no,
yeah.
Jerry O'Connell's the other guy. It looks really good in my opinion.
He's playing like the Teletubby cult leader.
Yeah, who in real life that guy was like a rapist or something. So there was a lot of people that were pissed that they based like his character off of this guy who was like a singer and in
Oh
real
wait,
life
it's based
also.
off a real person.
Yeah, they based him off of a British like singer or celebrity named Jimmy something that had
Okay.
made their group name is even like the Jimmies, and there was controversy regarding it because the guy in real life I think was either he sexually assaulted. It was like he definitely had some sort of like allegations. I forgot if it was like pedophilia or not. I could be completely wrong about that, but the guy did some shit.
Wow.
And if you look at a picture of this dude, I don't know if the director ever like or whoever came up with it confirmed it. But if you look up, you're like, oh no, that's exactly who that they're ripping this off of.
Yeah.
I mean, Jack O'Connell looks just like this asshole. But the trailer looks great in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't have anything too positive or too negative to say on it. The most excited I am for a movie that's coming out soon is Predator Badlands.
100%.
That looks like it's on my alley. Like perfect.
But it's
like,
rated
Well,
PG-13.
do you know why?
Well,
Because
there's not going to be much blood.
there's no humans in it. There's no humans that die in it. So
That's how they worked
there's
around
no
the
blood. So they worked around it. Apparently, the director said it is extremely violent, but everything that he's killing like is an alien. So it's like gooey. They changed the color of the blood so they could do PG-13. So they're gonna make a shit ton of money.
And that's Trachtenberg who did Prey. And I think he's
There's an animated
attached-
one. There's an animated
Yes.
one that came out. There's an animated anthology Predator movie. I'm gonna watch that before we
I want to watch that too.
Badlands. So.
Trachtenberg also did, I believe, 10 Cloverfield Lane, if I
He
remember
did.
correctly.
He did, which
Yeah.
that's my favorite in that series. So
Yeah, one of my favorites. Still waiting on that. The next piece of news for Cloverfield.
oh dude,
Oh,
you might be the only Cloverfield fan left on this planet.
I am the biggest fan of Cloverfield. And when that movie comes out, we are doing a whole Clover pod.
Oh god. I have
So,
to watch
if not,
Paradox. I have to watch Paradox.
I'll do it by myself.
No.
So,
I'm there,
yeah.
but
I love Cloverfield. But yeah, I don't other than that movie news, no, nothing that I've
are you excited for any upcoming releases other than that?
yeah. Black Phone 2, Begonia.
So are you a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street?
I mean, wait, what? Why?
Nightmare on Elm Street, like Freddy Krueger, the guy who like attacks people in his dreams.
Yeah.
Because that's
I mean,
that's what
I
Black
also
Phone
like it.
2 is based off of from the director.
Oh, okay.
Because
Because he
so
just
the grabber in the Black Phone 2, it's already been confirmed. Like he's not the actually like he only comes for them in their dreams.
right.
Or
They
like
do
or
say
not
that
in
in
his
the.
dreams. It's some sort of like other reality. Like he's not a physical presence in the movie.
Well, that I know. It kind of reminds me of like, well, the first one where those kids are reaching out to him, but I
So
guess to the kid to help
he's
him.
doing that now, but like
Right.
as the grabber, which I thought was really interesting.
I just like that they found a way to bring him back without having to be like, oh, he's alive. Um, like
I'm
the
curious
yeah,
to see why they made the sequel though. Like what is your why? I
money.
need a good why other than money, because then
Yeah,
I will shit on the movie, but
yeah.
I need a good why for why there's a Black Phone too.
I, I just think it's money because the first one was successful, and they're like, do it again.
Well, I know that, but I mean story
Yeah,
wise. Like if it's just a cash grab, I will say it. So
yeah. I mean, the story it looks good, and like the kid's grown up, so is his sister. Like
yeah.
that movie didn't even feel that long ago. It was like what 2022, but
The sister
like
looks really grown up. McGraw. I think
yeah,
her last name's McGraw. I forget her first name. She was the standout of Black Phone 1. She was
yes, she
really good.
fucking
I
was.
mean, obviously seeing Ethan Hawke have like a villainous turn, that's interesting, but she was awesome. Like watching her curse at the cops and everything, like she was so
Yeah,
cute. I love that movie.
this is only the second thing I think he's been a villain in. Because he was a villain in Moon Knight,
But
Marvel's.
even so, that's a Marvel villain. This is like disturbing pedophile
Oh yeah,
kidnapper.
no, no,
So
no.
it's like,
This
you
is
know,
different. No.
yeah.
Other than that, no. Like, but yeah, I mean that. Like, what else is coming out? Like, we got. I mean, like very soon. Frankenstein is what the beginning of November.
The new like the trailer for Begonia that has that pop song in it is really good. I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh, is that the trailer with where the shot where Jesse Plemons runs
Runs
across the
across the
table?
table. Oh my god,
Oh my
that looks really
God.
cool, right?
I got the chill bumps
And
right now. Some,
you know, I've been hearing a lot of like good buzz for it.
yeah.
I don't know about you. Are you a Yorgos fan? Like, have you seen some of his other films?
What else has he made? Did he just
The
make Queer?
um
No, no, no. What did he make?
the
Challengers?
Luca Guadagnino made Queer,
Oh, sorry.
and yeah, you're confusing them.
Okay.
Yorgos's last biggest movie was Poor Things.
With Emma Stone.
Yes,
No, I didn't see Poor Things.
I like Poor Things. Again, you could make the argument that that's style over substance, but that movie style wise looks awesome, and like
I'm
it
gonna
is
watch that leading up to
it is
Begonia.
a really profound movie. I think about like feminist culture and things like that. Like it felt earned. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd be really curious to see what you think of that. But speaking of Guadagnino, he does have a new movie coming out after. It's called After the Hunt with Andrew Garfield, Ayo Edebiri, and
I heard of this. Yeah.
who else is in that?
There's another. Yeah, there's another big name in it. I have heard of this movie.
Female actress. I just can't remember her name.
I can't look it up on my phone.
I'm gonna look it up.
I'm gonna ruin the screen. I think. Right.
You will, yeah. Don't do
I'll
that.
flip it around.
But apparently, this is a college sexual assault story.
Oh, I've heard of this movie. I clearly don't think I knew what it was about.
Julia Roberts. Oh my God, how did I forget
Oh.
that? How did I forget that? But the description is a college professor finds herself at a personal and professional crossroad when a star student levels an accusation against one of her colleagues, threatening to expose a dark secret from her own past.
That sounds good.
And Luca Guadagnino, I mean, I fucking love his movies.
I know
Call Me
that's
by
your
Your
guy.
Name is a masterpiece, and Challengers, a masterpiece, and Queer, really fucking good. So
I know that's your guy. Is that movie coming out this year? After the
After
Hunt?
the Hunt comes out in about a week or 2 weeks.
Oh,
2 weeks, I think. It comes out the same weekend as Springsteen. So
right.
those are the two I'm gonna have to play catch up with when I'm
I
in
got.
Halloween Horror Nights.
I was. That's right. I was gifted tickets to go see Delivery from Nowhere. Actually, specifically at Count Basie in New Jersey. So here, just over in Red Bank. So it's kind of cool. You were involved in putting that gift together.
I was.
Um,
I was.
So,
Well, anybody
I'm doing that.
anybody that's listening, Bill will be at the Count Basie Theater. So if you want to go meet one of the hosts,
Yeah, do that. I love. Yeah,
he
Um,
loves attention.
love it. I only like it when I'm in the wrestling ring. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see that movie. I am so. I know, just like you're probably like me. You're more excited for, as much as we love Jeremy Allen White,
Oh,
to
Jeremy
see what
Strong is my
to see
guy.
what Jeremy
It's
Strong
like
does in this
he's
movie.
my guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what he does. Yeah,
So, I mean, we have
but
a lot of upcoming movies, a lot of great. Like honestly, I was really thinking about it. Like fall is our busy season
it is.
because
I mean, this movie alone,
we've been watching so much.
I went to the theater. Well, we both went 3 times this week,
Yeah, and on
right?
top of
Yeah.
everything else I have going on, like it's crazy to say that.
Thank God that I got the AMC monthly membership.
Oh, the Regal
So
Pass here in Chicago is
yeah,
saving my ass. Oh my god.
yeah. Like, because I with the AMC you get like 3 movies a week, so at least I didn't. It's so worth it. These movie passes, whether it's Regal, Cinemark, or AMC. Not to be
Hell
a
yeah.
shill, but it is worth the money if you go to the theaters even a couple times a month.
It definitely is. But anyways, so those are those big new releases we have coming up. We have a lot of fun new releases. We have a lot of serious film movies we're going to be seeing at the film festival. So
And
we have a whole catalog of films we're going to be reviewing. So
we only have like 10 movies in 5 days at the Chicago Film
we'll
Festival.
figure out how we'll structure that. If anything, I think we're going to pick out the movies we like the best and give those solo reviews.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably have a definitive film festival pod.
Yeah, I
And
like
we could
that.
dive into everything else, that we want to talk about. But
Yeah.
even our experience.
Yeah, 100%.
But anyways, I think that's going to bring the variety episode to an end.
I agree. So Anemone and Tron. I say if you're gonna, I can't even compare these movies. I mean, like there are going to be a demographic who goes see Anemone, but Anemone, whatever the fuck.
Anemone.
Dude. Anemone, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Whatever. Just go see Tron. I'm supporting Tron out of the two of them.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah.
I'll
just 'cause-
always support up and coming like filmmakers
No,
first
I
time.
know, me too.
Again,
Yeah, me
he is the son of one of the greatest living actors, so he had a lot of access to things. Obviously, like this is a nepo baby, but there's clearly talent here. If everything that was in this movie is coming from him, like there's a clear talent here.
Oh, 100%.
There's a clear
Yeah.
talent, and I'm interested to see what comes next. Aries, I think this is a generic bullshit popcorn movie with a lot of fun style and possibly one of the best scores of the year from 9 Inch Nails, which I will be listening to a lot.
100. I was thinking, is this the soundtrack of the year? But I didn't want to jump ahead.
I don't want to
as I
say. I
think
don't want
about-
to say that. We'll save that for like the end of the year.
Yeah. I mean, like thus far. I was trying to think. I was like, this is up there. But
Johnny Greenwood's score in One Battle After Another.
I was listening back to that, and Phoenician Scheme too actually has a really good score.
I still got to
There's
catch
some-
Phoenician Scheme.
There are some tracks on there, and oh no, forget it. It's Weapons. Weapons is like probably my favorite soundtrack of the year. I love that soundtrack.
We'll
What
get
am I
into
saying?
this at the end of the year.
Yeah, soundtrack's going to definitely be a good episode. So, but all right, everybody. So that was our variety episode. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit a 5-star review. Give us 5-star.
Everything.
Leave a review. Word of mouth. YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all that shit.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for watching.
Bye, everybody.